WTP and WDWA family. Welcome into another great episode of Elevation. Episode number 27. We got the one and only ranch hand Carlson going to be coming on here, joining us shortly. Going to get to talk to him. This being the first time we talked to ranch hand since he lost that Mid-Atlantic Championship. So be interesting to see what he has to say. And of course, we did get some news about his next matchup being at the carnival. So definitely looking forwards to that. But we got plenty to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. So I will be joined here by the one and only dashing Donnie Diablo, but it looks like he might still be working on his connection. So I'll give him a little bit more here to get in, but got a great show lined up for you. So it was a great weekend. Had a heck of a show, and so while we wait for Donnie, let's just jump in and start talking about Hot and Bothered, ladies and gentlemen. And Hot and Bothered was, as I said, a great show from beginning to end. Our first match, we had Tyler Hastings versus Bo Ross. And that matchup, of course, Tyler Hastings did come out with a victory in that matchup. And our next matchup, we had Buckshot Billy versus Xander Payne. And in this matchup, it was a great match. And Buckshot Billy had promised he was going to come out with a victory in this one. And lo and behold, he was able to come out with a victorious over Xander Payne. And, he overcame the fact that Eisen Kaiser was sitting ringside. Eisen tried to interfere a couple times, but Buckshot was able to overcome that. But then there was some stuff after the match, and before we get into that, though, let me go ahead and bring in dashing Donnie Diablo. So, can you hear me, Donnie?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, buddy.
Awesome.
Well, welcome in. It's great to have you here tonight. So, I talked a little bit about the match between Tyler Hastings and Bo Ross, where Tyler came out victorious in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Great matchup there. And then I was talking about the match between Buckshot Billy and Xander Payne, where Buckshot Billy actually came out victorious. And, Buckshot always seems to have something, I would say, up his sleeve, but this time I think it was down his overalls, because they pulled out so many handkerchiefs out of his pocket that it actually pulled out his underwear.
Yeah, much to Danica's dismay, she found the end of that rainbow.
So
I guess it wasn't a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. So
not at all, but it was a good matchup, and despite Eisen trying to interfere, and but Buckshot came away with the win. But in the end, was he did he really win? Because he paid for his victory. Uh, After winning, we saw Levi Mortalis appeared, and he came out and he helped Double Tap beat down Buckshot Billy.
Choking him out with
And
his own handkerchiefs or with his own,
yeah,
slash underwear.
so um, I know we haven't seen the last of that, because they've already announced that at the carnival there's going to be a match that resulted from that. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Um, then we went into the Helm versus the Hustlers. This was the first time we've seen the Hustlers in WDWA in a while, and they actually they did pretty good against the Helm. They weren't just a pushover, but in the end, the Helm was able to come out victorious in that one. So
Yeah, the Helm started out great. They were able to cut off the ring. We made comments about what a well developed, well oiled machine that they were performing as. But with money and power, JTR was out there, and it's still the Helm. Things eventually wore down, and it switched to the other side. So
yes, so Helm was able to come out with victorious on that. Then we kind of shifted gears a little bit after that, and we saw the first talk show in WDWA, The Sanctuary, which was hosted by the Solution, Jerry Jeremiah. You know, he came out, he had a podium up there, he had a chair up there, and he tried to let people know that you know what he was there for, and he eventually called out Sean Cannon, and he tried to tell Sean Cannon that he needs the help of Jerry Jeremiah. Um, Cannon didn't take too well to that, and you know, then as things progress, Stevie Grind came out, and we had our matchup between Stevie Grind and Sean Cannon. During this matchup, Donnie, you and I were actually joined by Jerry Jeremiah on commentary.
mm-hmm.
That he kept trying to tell Sean, "Look, this is why you need me," but Sean was very distracted by the fact that Jerry was there. Even Jerry didn't even have to say anything, and Sean kept looking over and telling him, "I don't need you. I can do this." And but upon being distracted, Sean got rolled up, and Stevie Grind was actually able to take the victory. And that furthered Jerry Jeremiah trying to tell him, "Look, this is why you need me. This wouldn't have happened if you had me." So
I mean, he's calling himself the solution now, right? He's got the
yeah,
solution for all that ails you, if you will. He's got the solution, or had the solution, for all of Sean Cannon's losses until he ended up with another one.
so yeah, so definitely, I'm sure by the reaction of Sean Cannon and by Jerry Jeremiah keep telling him that he needs him. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of that. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see, will Sean Cannon decide that he does need Jerry Jeremiah, or will it will he finally get tired of it and kind of try to shut Jerry Jeremiah up? Yeah, I guess only time will tell. So after that matchup, we saw the Mid Atlantic Championship being defended. Jamie Hall versus JJ Smith. Now, I believe this is one of the first times we've seen JJ Smith in WDWA. Um, he came in, he wanted to show that nerds are no pushover and that, you know, nerds can rule. But unfortunately for him, Jamie was able to lock in that Cobra clutch and take the victory. So, Jamie Hall retained the championship over JJ. So, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, great match. I really thought Jamie was going to come in and just steamroll over JJ, and at parts it looked like that's what was going to happen. But JJ said he was there to make a name for the nerds at Nerds Rule, and he was actually able to put up a decent fight. Unfortunately for him, like you said, he was going against our Mid Atlantic champion and Jamie Hall. Jamie's still got a lot to prove, and being his first title defense and range hand not being there, to distract him, we kind of knew what was going to happen. It was academic Jamie Hall with the victory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I not to take anything away from JJ, but I didn't expect him to come in and take that Mid Atlantic Championship on his WDWA debut there. So,
right.
but it was still a good matchup. JJ did really fight for it. But then we went into a women's championship match, where we saw Ivy Malibu come in and she faced Tiffany Grady. Now, Jason Curtis, he was ringside for that. He did try to interject at one point, but unfortunately for Jason, he was handcuffed to Gavin Jackson so that he couldn't interfere. And so Gavin thought he had leveled the playing field. He had nothing to worry about because he had Jason under control. And it looked as if Gavin was right. But then Sage Santiago decided she was going to interject in the match herself, which is something normally you don't see little timid Sage interject herself. But this time she did, and she caused a disqualification. So Ivy Malibu walked away with the victory, but title does not change hands on a disqualification. So still, our women's champion is Tiffany Grady. Now, Tiffany has held that championship for over 400 days. I believe today makes 402 days, I believe. So, congratulations to Tiffany for holding it that long. Um, but we'll see who can eventually take that title away from Tiffany. Many have tried and many have failed, but it's been a long, tough road for them.
And Gavin, like you said, he thought he really evened the odds. He thought he pulled one over on our queen, the Temptatious one, our champion Tiffany Grady. And it just shows, you think you're one up on her, and she's going to find a way to win regardless. With Sage, and you mentioned it, Sage isn't normally one to get involved. And if you look back at the past when Sage has got involved, it's generally not went well for Tiff on those occasions. I think back to Keely Capri pushing Sage down in front of us, taking the belt and laying out Tiff with it. I think that was really the last time that Sage was involved in one of Tiff's matches, or actually got to ride all the way home after one of Tiff's matches. So there was a lot going into this match for Sage Santiago. So,
Yeah, it was a good matchup, right up to Sage interjecting herself, and it's kind of a shame that Sage did interject, just because I would have liked to have seen how that played out. I mean, would have Tiffany have retained? Who knows? But I'm sure we probably haven't seen the last of that one either, because I'm sure Ivy's going to want another shot at it, because I'm sure she felt like she was kind of screwed on that. So we'll see what happens. But then we were supposed to go into another matchup that we absolutely knew was going to be a fight. We knew it would be a war. A matchup between Zakar Shaw and Clay Jacobs. This has been building ever since Clay turned on Zakar, and Zakar has wanted to get his hands on Clay so bad, but it did not get started because, Clay came out, he attacked Zakar, and the two of them just went at it, to the point that they actually had to get security out there and have security separate these guys. Actually, more than security, the whole locker room was out there.
Yep.
And they still had trouble breaking them apart with the whole locker room out there. But they finally did get Clay in the back. And then after Clay was in the back, Zakar stood tall in the ring for a little bit. And he wanted Clay to come back. He wanted the fight, but it just wasn't going to happen. So Zakar actually exited out of the front of the building. They didn't even have him go to the back. They had him exit right out of the front because they didn't want that going back into the locker room, So I know these two want to get their hands on each other so bad, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see when they do get their hands on each other.
And there was so much more involved in that match that we did not know about during the match, or what actually, like you said, it wasn't actually a match. It went to a no contest. We never got started. But there was so much more that we didn't know about on commentary until well afterwards. It's all going to be on Frontline. Some of it's already been put up on social media for WDWA. You can go check it out there. Very disturbing stuff. I'm going to say, if you're easily disturbed, you might not want to watch it. Clay is Clay, and
and actually, I think that we have them.
All right,
we actually have their reactions here. So
again,
we'll
folks, this is some chilling stuff. So if you're easily disturbed, you might want to go get a drink or something else for a minute. The mind of Clay Jacobs isn't somewhere you want to be right now.
So let's start out with Clay. Let's see what he said.
Nobody thought I had a plan. Nobody thought. You guys, I had a plan. You piece of trash. Oh, and it's going swellingly. He is following exactly the way I want it. Oh, Zakar, you don't know that I have so many plans for you, sweetheart. There's so many. You will lead down this path. You will hear the locusts, and they want you. They want you. This isn't over, baby boy. This isn't over. Oh.
Clay is quite disturbed, and in that attack, towards the end, he actually had a chair that he put on his own leg and was yelling at Zakar, "Break it again. Go ahead." I don't know. Clay just has really gone crazy here, and I think just about everybody should be a little worried about Clay if they're coming to his path. So, yeah, but we have Zakar's reaction as well.
Come on, let's go. Come on. Calm down.
Clay, this isn't the last of this. If you want to be the villain of the story, that's fine. But just know this. I've done everything that you can imagine in the past. And I will do anything I have to make sure that you never walk away from me!
R is quite upset, and rightfully so. And so I can't wait to see when they do finally get their hands on each other. Although I say I can't wait to see it, but then again, it's probably going to be something that I'm not sure you're going to want to watch. It's kind of like a
Maybe
train
not.
wreck. You can't help but sit there and watch it happen, but at the same time, you want to look away, but you don't want to miss it. So,
They've went to war plenty of times before, and it's been brutal. Then you referenced the Zakar breaking Clay's leg. You mentioned the disturbing image towards somewhere before the match, the not match got broke up, where Clay put that chair over his ankle and was daring and begging Zakar to break it right there. And we even saw him, alluding to the leg and crawling on Favor in that leg, even back in the back. And it's chilling. It really is. And we know the depths of despair and pain that these guys are going to take each other to. And I don't know. It's we got a reprieve, at least for a show or two, before these guys unleash nuclear Armageddon on each other.
yeah. So, and then after that, we still had our main event. So, in our main event, we saw the Sigma males go against Money and Power. AK Bane and Austin Kingsley. And in this, there were several times that they kept telling AK, follow the plan, follow the plan. Austin kept telling AK, tag me in. And, when AK wouldn't listen, he'd tag himself in. And there's a few times that AK tagged himself in. So it didn't quite seem like they were on the same page. And, in the end, Austin told him to tag him in, and well, he did so with basically a chop across the chest, to the point that Austin just basically fell into the ring almost.
Yeah.
And Sigma Males was able to capitalize on that and take the victory. Definitely don't think they are on the same page. Doesn't seem like AK's plan is the same one that Austin has. So going forwards, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And of course, this is all going to go to Berkeley Mania. And, the question is, does Austin Kingsley and JTR have one plan and AK has another? That remains to be seen. But, afterwards, the Sigma males, they got on the microphone and they mentioned that, last time they were in that ring, they beat the tag team champions, and that now they pinned the heavyweight champion. So they feel they are the number one contenders for those tag team titles. So they laid out a challenge to UCK for those tag team titles. Now, I haven't heard, if Gavin's going to make that official. I haven't heard if UCK is accepting. So I don't know if that's going forwards, but I feel Sigma males definitely have a claim to those tag titles after beating the tag team champions and pinning the world heavyweight champion, even if it was because AK crushed in Austin's chest.
Crushed him. And again, there's a video of that floating around too, if you don't want to wait for the actual front line to come out. But good Lord, that wasn't a tag. That was, like you said, it was chest crushing. There's a picture of Austin's chest afterwards, a good time after the match, and it looks like hamburger, like Bane just took a big thing of greasy hamburger and just slapped it across Austin's chest. It's a giant red handprint, and it's probably still going to be there when, and if they end up tangling up at Berkeley Mania or whenever it is. But I gotta believe my man JTR's got a plan. He's got the world champ. He's got the number one contender. Everything. The ball is in JTR's court. He's going to make sure whatever happens, JTR is going to come out ahead. Money and Power is going to come out ahead. I gotta believe that.
Well, and it seemed like afterwards there was a little confusion, and while JTR was trying to straighten out this confusion, Gavin Jackson had a couple of announcements that he made, and I happen to have that video there as well. So, and this will lead us into our guest tonight. So let's go ahead and check this one out real quick.
Where is he at? Where in the hell is he at? Where is he at? Hey. What in the hell was that? Job. Hey! You said you had control. You had control. I have control. You're an idiot. You're out there selling nuts. You're out there selling nuts to kids. And you're going to sell them up there. You're afraid. What do you want?
Calm down, guys. Calm down. Everything's on the same page over here.
They're fine. Things are fine. Things are fine. They're going according to plan. They're going according to plan.
Well, I got a plan too, right? And it may not be on the same plan as yours, but they're champions. You got to put that title on the line next weekend at Carnival against Ranch and Carlson. Right. And you're. Listen, just go. Austin, just go. I got this. I could tell your boy Cassius, he's got a match also against Mr. Grimm.
Godmother! Oh, are you kidding me? Listen to me. Are you listening? Are you listening? Did you hear anything I said? Oh, bullshit!
Oof. I'm not sure that they are on the same page, but one thing for sure, at the Rumble, Money and Power came down into the finals with our guest tonight, Ranch and Carlson. They were able, with the numbers game, to eliminate Ranch and Carlson. And even though he did not win the Rumble,
Shouldn't have been in the Rumble, let's be honest.
well, for him to be in there after what he went through.
That's what I'm saying.
He did a heck of a job in that Rumble, though. And he is now going to be competing against Austin Kingsley at the Carnival for the heavyweight championship. That's going to be one heck of a match. So let's go ahead and get him in here, because he is in the back waiting. The man who will be competing for the heavyweight championship at Clash at the Carnival, the one and only Ranch Hand Carlson.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing
Ranch
tonight?
Hand?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
Doing
Doing
good,
all right.
doing good. Thanks for being here, buddy.
No problem at all. Hey, Donnie, has anybody ever told you that you're a kiss ass?
Probably a few
Well,
times.
they need to remind you more often.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably reminded me a few times as well there.
Well, it'll be a running thing now.
I'm just gonna chalk it up to your head injury, that CTE, being dropped on your head that many times. I don't know. Maybe it scrambled something, back into place.
Maybe it did. Maybe it did. Maybe you should get dropped on your head, and that way you can get it stuck out from JTR's butt.
Maybe I don't know, but I don't know who's gonna do that.
I mean, I know that this past weekend, whenever they were doing something good, they'd walk over and look at Donnie and say, "Hey, I know you like that, don't you? You like that." So
yeah, you might as well give him an M&P shirt.
There you go.
Yeah,
a couple of those. I need a few of those.
Yeah, you need a new wardrobe, sure.
So, Ranch Hand, thank you for joining us. First off, how are you doing? After that pile driver on the concrete, and then taking three more of them in the ring, and some of them being on a chair. I don't know how you came back to get in that Rumble after all that, because I mean you had to be concussed, and so I don't know how you got in it. But how are you doing after all that?
Well,
I
there's
was told
two
he thought
things.
he was going to Disney World. Like, he didn't even know he was going to the ring. He thought he was getting on the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride or something.
Oh, no doubt about it. I knew I was going to the ring. Let me tell you something. This funny thing with doctors, they make you sign paperwork. Well, if you don't sign it, you can't accept anything. So, yes, I did have the concussion after the last steel chair shot. The pile driver on the steel chair, I for sure had a concussion. But if you don't sign the paperwork, you don't have to listen to the doctors. That's what my lawyer told me. So I'm walking by the table, and everybody's screaming, "Oh, Mr. Grimm, he can't make it. Mr. Grimm, he can't make it. There's an open spot on the Rumble, but everybody's in it. Everybody's in it, except for Tommy Vex. Tommy Vex was, I think, picking his nose in the corner. And so I walked up there and just signed my name on that piece of paper and entered myself in the Rumble. And here's the funny thing, right? Money and Power and I, we've never ran across each other. I've never had an issue with those boys. If they want to play Polly Pocket all day long in the ring, they can, as long as they get out of the way when the real men go to fight. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm in there with three of them. And it took all three of them to get me out. A guy that, like you said, Donnie, got dropped on his head 3 times that night. Once on a steel chair and once on the floor. And it took 3 of them to beat me. So you're telling me you think old skinny fat Austin Kingsley the fifth is going to beat me one-on-one? Y'all are already talking about Berkeley Mania, A.K. Bane versus Austin Kingsley. You better rewrite it, because JTR can be in A.K. Bane's corner after I'm the WDWA heavyweight champion.
I mean, if we were talking about one-on-one, maybe, but I don't think any of us are delusional enough to think this is going to be one-on-one. We're still going to have JTR. A.K. Bane is kind of a wild card in there. Cassius is obviously going to be there that show. He's competing beforehand. It depends on the layout too.
But you got to look at the cards that you're being dealt with. Cassius ain't going to make it to the time the main event happens. Cassius is wrestling Mr. Grimm. Cassius is going to be sitting crying in the back saying, "Oh, please, Daddy, don't do it again." And JTR wants to stick his huge nose in my business. I'm going to break it off.
Still got the helm. I'm saying the numbers are there. The numbers are there.
Jesus, yeah. I keep forgetting he's got like 12 people under contract.
And Donnie is right. You got the numbers game there. And, when it comes to the numbers, they do have the advantage. How do you overcome that numbers game?
Well, John, that's a great question. I've been against the numbers my whole life. I've been the underdog in every situation I've ever been in. So I'm going to overcome it exactly how I've overcome every other situation I've been in. Pull my hat down tight and ride the horse as hard as I can and beat Austin Kingsley, whoop JTR, beat the two pretty boys of the helm. Whoever comes out can get their ass whooped too. All right, that's what I'm saying, John. I will overcome all the odds. All right, we're sitting here talking about Berkeley Mania already. Austin ain't got through me. That's what I keep getting at. You two both said at Berkeley Mania, this is what it's looking like. Well, they're going to have a singles match without the title because your boy's going to be holding the title.
Well, and that is a very good possibility. I mean, you could be the champion, and it could be you against AK Bane.
Yeah, it's a very good possibility.
If you can manage, if you can manage to overcome that factor of numbers, which it's going to be difficult, but I do believe you could do it. If there's anybody that could do it, it's you. And for me to say that to you, there was a time that we didn't exactly see eye to eye. We weren't on the same level, but I have come around now a little more, and I see that you could be that person.
It's funny how the tides change. You used to boo me, and Donnie used to cheer me. Now Donnie boos me, and you cheer me. It's funny how the tides of wind can change.
Exactly. Donnie used to sit over there ringing his little bell, and
still got the little
now I don't even see it most of the time.
It's still there. It's
what happened,
way deep in that bag.
That's sad.
Deep in there.
It's sad.
It's sad. It's sad because you started scrambling your head with all those flips. You started listening to people asking you to be Flippy Carlson, and once you started making all those turns, I don't know, maybe you hit your head a little hard then. Like, it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same ranch hand. It wasn't ranch hand Carlson. It was Flippy Doodle Carlson or whatever you were doing there. You were appeasing everybody. But the people who mattered, man, the people who were with you in your corner before kind of left us out there on the sideline while you.
Yeah, I know. I really disappointed you and Gary, two of the most important people in my life.
Exactly. Yeah. Poor Gary, man. Poor Gary.
Poor Gary.
He cries himself to sleep every night, man. In his ranch hand shirt.
That's not because of me. That's the reason he cries himself to sleep is not because of me. Let's all be clear on that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that we can discuss why Gary's actually crying himself to sleep on elevation.
Exactly.
Yeah. But he's wiping his tears with his ranch hand T-shirt. That we can agree on.
Poor fella.
Yeah, so, I mean, are you going to be 100% at the carnival? Because, like I say, like we've already established, all those pile drivers and everything you went through and walked away with a concussion, and are you going to be 100%?
Let me ask you a question, John. Is any pro wrestler 100%? No, I haven't been to the doctor since they told me at WDWA I need to go get looked at. Right? I'll shoot straight. I haven't been to the doctor. I'm a ranch hand. I'm a cowboy. I don't really go to the doctors unless I absolutely have to. All right. Is my neck still sore every morning when I wake up? Yes, it is. Does it still hurt when I turn right and left really quickly? 100%. Am I going to be 100%? No. Have I ever been 100%? Probably not. But am I going to give 150% in that wrestling ring to beat Austin Kingsley? Yes, which means he's going to have to give 200%, which means he better get a really good massage that day. He better get in the gym every day that week. He better stretch. He better do his yoga, and he better be ready. Because the only thing he can win is a carnival game that night.
Speaking of carnival games,
and it's funny that you mentioned.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's funny you mentioned carnival games because there has been another announcement made concerning Austin Kingsley that at the carnival. There we go. From 4 to 5:30 on Saturday, July 18th, Austin Kingsley will be in the dunk tank before he goes against ranch hand Carlson. So you talk about him getting a massage and everything. You know, I don't know that he's going to have time to get that massage between getting in the dunk tank and getting ready for your matchup.
Well, so I'm actually going to agree with Austin Kingsley here
Are
on
you
something.
saving your money up to?
No. I actually agree with Austin Kingsley on something. I don't think he should be in the dunk tank, guys. I really don't. I think that's an unfair advantage I would have. He would get some cold plunges. He might have an advantage at that point. I think that's unfair. You know who I think should be in the dunk tank, guys? I think JTR should be in the dunk tank. I think they should put him in the dunk tank.
Oh no, there's been Gary volunteered.
I thought you were going to say Donnie should be in the dunk tank.
I was
No,
not
Donnie. JTR should be in the dunk tank. I mean, then that way when he falls the first time, all of his makeup would wash off. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that definitely.
Joe Lance
I
actually
think it would definitely bring in the money. That's for sure.
Joe Lance volunteered to go in the dunk tank. We just can't find a booster seat that floats. That's the problem.
Wow.
We're trying to get Joe in there. But
well, the dunk tank might be so high that Joe drowns, so we can't do that for medical purposes.
That too. All of that was taken into account.
Yeah,
I
poor
don't
Joe.
know how.
Well,
I don't
and
know the
we'd have-
maximum weight that you can get water wings in either. So
Yeah, he would need
And we'd
goggles
have to
too.
find a step ladder. We'd have to find a
Yeah.
step ladder so he could get up on the ladder to climb in the tank. So
Yeah, but JTR seems like a good replacement. I agree with them, guys. Austin shouldn't be in the dunk tank. JTR should be. I agree.
So
another JTR
how do you prepare? How do you prepare for this matchup when you look at the numbers game and everything? How do you prepare for that?
Well, that's a great question, John. What I'm probably going to do is the night before, I'm going to put some money and power matches on, all of them, so that way I can get to bed real early. Then, when I wake up in the morning, I'll eat 6 scrambled eggs, and then I'll drive up to West Virginia, and I'm going to pull my boots on real tight and get ready to shove them so far up Austin Kingsley's butt that he'll be shining my shoes the next morning when he brushes my teeth. That's how I prepare.
Well, and that sounds like a perfect preparation to me. So now, Beans, you're just coming off of losing the Mid-Atlantic Championship. You know, does that loss fuel you in this matchup to make you want to win even more? And at the same time, is it almost like a I don't want to say a blessing, but do you feel that losing that title actually helps because of the fact that now you can go for the heavyweight title where, you know, you probably wouldn't have this if you hadn't lost that title?
You know, it kind of comes down to this, right? There's times in life when you're the hunted, and there's times in life when you're the hunter. And for the last 9 months, the longest reigning Mid-Atlantic champion has been hunted. He's been attacked from behind. He's been dropped on his head on the floor before the bell can ring. He's been attacked. He's been in 6 ways. He's been in 5 ways. He's been in 4 ways. He's had to wrestle the best of the Mid-Atlantic. He has been hunted. But now I'm the hunter. Now I can set my sights on stuff. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, you know, you should go back after Jamie Hall. Oh, you should get your rematch for the Mid-Atlantic Championship. I told Gavin Jackson, whatever the result of those 2 out of 3 falls matches, I didn't want a rematch. Whether I lost, I didn't want a rematch. And Jamie Hall, respect to him, he did the same thing. If he was to lose to me, he wasn't going to ask for another match for the Mid-Atlantic Championship. So I respect him. But now I'm hunting. And there's only one title in WDWA that's more prestigious than the Mid-Atlantic title. And that's the WDWA Heavyweight Championship. And it's been held by a lot of amazing professional wrestlers. It really has. But then you get some scumbag like Austin Kingsley that wants to carry it around. That's what irritates me. So I went from being the hunted to the hunter. And John, that's a very dangerous thing for a man like me. It fuels something in me that I really don't know how to explain. But my blood, it's not hot anymore, waiting for the next guy to jump me. My blood's ice cold. And my eyes are set on one thing. And that's the WDWA Heavyweight Championship.
Well, and you know, I totally think that you could do that. You could be the next champion. And if you are the next champion, what are your thoughts about having to face a monster like AK Bane at Berkeley Mania should you win?
Well, when I win that, I'll get to wrestle AK Bane. Now, AK Bane, I hope AK Bane's in here. I hope AK Bane's listening, because AK Bane is a talented man, a monster among men. But he's got that little rat-faced little fella, JTR, that's trying to pull his strings, trying to control him. And that's his issue. AK Bane would be one of the top, if not the top wrestler at WDWA, no shadow of a doubt, if it wasn't for JTR pulling the strings. JTR is the big problem in WDWA for all those guys. The Helm, they're two talented guys. They could probably be wrestling for the tag titles. But JTR has to protect his investments. He's focused on one thing. And when you have 6 clients and you're only focused on one thing, it doesn't work out well for the other 5. And none of them boys can realize it yet.
Well, and you know, you definitely can see that he's focused on one thing, and that has caused quite the confusion in Money and Power, because, you know, as we saw this past weekend, the confusion between AK Bane and Austin Kingsley, and you know, we saw the aftermath of that when they were arguing outside, and so there's definitely plenty of confusion right now and mayhem that, you know, you may be able to take advantage of. So, but Donnie, do you have any questions here?
There's some issues on the surface, it appears, with Money and Power, but that's just what it appears to be. You know, and I have to have faith again in JTR that he's got things under control, that the plan is in place. You want to say that he's focused on one thing. I don't think he's focused on one thing. He's focused on a number of things. He's focused on the Helm getting the tag titles. You know, the Sigma males are next in line, but the Helm's got to be somewhere right behind that. He's focused on, you know, I don't know that he's focused on the Mid-Atlantic at all. Maybe acquiring Jamie for his stable at some point. But he's got the number 1 contender, and he's got the heavyweight champion already. You know, he's got pretty much all the gold. Tiff's got her gold. You know, I don't think anything's going to happen with her, but I gotta believe Money and Power's, you know, got things under control. I think it's going to be tough. However, I do agree with what Range Hand said as well. Range Hand on the hunt is a very, very dangerous range hand. Go back. We've got plenty of footage. You can watch all the Range Hand matches before he got the Mid-Atlantic Championship to see just how dangerous he was. Not that he wasn't dangerous with the Mid-Atlantic Championship in his hands, because he certainly was as well. But like, there's, again, we have so many questions that need answers, and it's just future shows that are going to get us there. And the next one's coming up at the Carnival, and I don't think I would want to take Range Hand on at the Carnival. I'm actually worried for Kingsley, and especially since we mentioned he's got all the Carnival duties and the dunk tank he's got to attend to half the day. I'm not crazy about the odds. I'm not. I mean, again, hopefully JTR's got something up his sleeve, but
again, great idea. If JTR is so worried about Austin Kingsley being fresh for the match, he should take his spot in the dunk tank. I'm just saying.
Well, I did
That's
hear
what a good
rumor
leader would do.
I did hear rumor that JTR was trying to pay to find a back door to get in here or something during this interview, but
Well, he definitely will with Donnie.
Well,
Yeah, I was checking already. I guess I don't know if the check cleared yet. So
Well, and from what I understand, he's out on his yacht, close to a private island or something, and doesn't have good service. I guess his track phone's not working out there, but
Womp womp. Well, all the people
Zell
should be
still
very
works.
happy that they don't have to. They should be very happy they don't have to hear his whiny little voice. So
I was on that.
Well, what's-
Still works.
is that the one that dude Jeffrey used to own?
It's close, not quite the
Oh,
same.
okay.
Yeah, it's like next door.
It's next door to it. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Couple doors now.
yeah.
Well,
and every time Donnie goes to one of those Diddy parties, he disappears afterwards. So
What? Whoa. Pause. If you want me to, guys, I can be JTR for you guys. I can do it. You got anybody want to see an impression of JTR?
Let's do it. Go ahead.
Well, guys, I'm JTR, and I've got Austin Kingsley. And Carlson, stop talking about me getting in the dunk tank, because I'm not going to do it. I've got all this money. I bought all this stuff. I own a yacht. I own an island. I own this. I own that. And my guys we're all together. We're all on the same page, guys. We're all on the same page. All right? Stop picking on me and my power. We're all on the same page. All right? That's my JTR impression.
I think you did a good job.
I was getting more Travis Norbert than that. I was getting JTR, but
Who's that?
Travis Norbert, the commissioner.
I'm kidding. I'm being funny. Come on, Donnie. Come on, keep up.
Man.
I know it went over your head. Keep up.
I mean, he's in a wheelchair now, so it would have went over his head too.
That was good. That was good.
So, Ranch Hand, would you like to say anything to Money and Power and Austin Kingsley? We'll give you the opportunity here to say whatever you would like to say to them.
Perfect. Let me go right down the list. Helm, get away from JTR. Cassius, listen to me, son. Cassius, get in the gym. All right. AK Bane, get away from JTR. He doesn't care about you. He's going to ask you to lay down. All right. If Austin does get through me somehow, some way, he's going to ask you to lay down for Austin to give him the night off in Berkeley Mania. Get far away from JTR. JTR, now I'm going to speak directly to you. You're a piece of crap. You go around and you fake who you really are. You're not a cowboy. I've seen you wear the cowboy boots. I've seen you wear the cowboy hat and the big buckle. That is not a cowboy. All right. You can't just buy the clothes to be a cowboy. It comes from your soul, and son, you just don't have it. Your soft hands, every time I have to shake your hand, those soft, non-calloused hands. I know you ain't a cowboy. You ain't never owned a ranch. You ain't never been on a horse. You don't even know what cow's poop smells like. All right. And Austin Kingsley, this last message is for you, son. I want you to take that title and I want you to shine it up real nice tonight and the next night and the next night. And I want you to get real ready for Saturday. And the whole time you're in that dunk tank and every time one of the WDWA fans knocks you in and you go underwater, I just want you to think and count to 3 and then pop your head up. Because at the end of the night, that same 3 that you felt underwater that whole time is going to be me pinning you 1, 2, 3 to become the new WDWA heavyweight champion. That is going to happen, son. And everybody can bet on black. They can bet on red. They can go to the casino and bet on their favorite horse. And most of the time, you'll lose. But 100% of the time, when you bet on Carlson, you win.
All right. Well, it sounds like you definitely are ready for Saturday at the carnival. And
I can't wait.
I can't wait to see it.
John, question. What's your favorite carnival food? I know you got about 10 of them.
You know, I like the Italian sausages.
Okay. Donnie, what's yours?
Corn dogs. Got to be the corn
I
dogs.
bet. I love funnel cake, and I hope there's funnel cake there. I love funnel cake because when I get in my truck and I've got that new WDWA heavyweight championship laying across my lap, I'm going to put a big old funnel cake right on top of it and eat it as a celebration.
Well, that definitely sounds like a plan. And like I say, if there's anybody who can overcome that numbers game, I believe you can do it. So
Thanks, John.
I believe in
appreciate
you, whether Donnie does or not. You know.
I mean,
What do you think, Donnie? Come on.
I said it. I'm not comfortable with the situation going into the carnival. It's just ranch hand at the carnival. I just see, it's not a good situation.
I hope there's a balloon game, the dart balloon game. I hope it's right next to us. Because my plan is I'm going to tie Austin in the game, and then I'm going to buy darts and hit him with the darts. That's my plan.
I was thinking maybe there's one of those star shootouts, where you got the little BB
Ooh.
Tommy guns and I was picturing something like that. And, I think Austin's got a star somewhere on his tights, which would be horrifying.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Donnie. For somebody that's Austin's friend, you're giving me too many good ideas, bud.
I know these are the things. I'm like, it's a carnival and it's Carlson. Like this is none of this is going to go well. So
It's not.
You better be careful, or JTR is going to stop payment on your checks.
I didn't get the last one. I'm still waiting. And like I said, I know that Zell works off the coast of that island. I was at that island, so there's no reason he shouldn't have been on right now. But
that's true. That's true. That's true. Poor JTR. He's probably laying in a corner crying somewhere, honestly.
You never know, but I do appreciate you for joining us here, and I definitely look forwards to your matchup Saturday night, and best of luck to you, because I'd really love to see you win it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much, John.
So, all right, you have anything you want to say before we let him go, Donnie?
Best of luck. I want to say you're going to need it, but I'm kind of scared too at the same point. So, just best of luck.
Don't give me too much luck, son. The odds are against me, but I'm pretty confident with my odds I have.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am too, and that's what's not making me feel too great in my stomach right now. Let's move on.
So, all right. Thank you very much for being here, sir, and we will see you Saturday night.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Man, I can't believe it. JTR was supposed to be here, but he's got things to do, I guess. I not even so much as got a text back. So I glad you understood what was going on, because I thought he was going to come on. He was going to enlighten us with some plans, have some chat with Ranch Hand. None of that happened. So
yeah, that was last I understood. He was on his island, and their just service wasn't very well.
Yeah.
So
okay. Thanks.
But for anybody who may have missed the show this past Saturday, you missed one heck of a show, and you can get caught up though. It may take a few weeks, but you can get caught up, because every single Thursday night at 8 p.m., Juan puts on a heck of a product, front line, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and check it out, where you can see all the action, and you even see You even see some stuff that you don't even catch at the show. So that's every Thursday night, 8 p.m. YouTube.com/Wild Patriot 22 for Frontline.
Step into the big
Once again, that is Frontline every Thursday night, 8 p.m. YouTube.com/Wild Patriot 22 to catch all the action, ladies and gentlemen. And when you tune in, you will hear myself, Dashing Donnie Diablo. You'll also, from time to time, hear Steve Netz, and you may hear some others. Here recently,
Jerry.
I've been joined by JTR. I've been joined by Austin Kingsley. I've been joined by Hall. You know, you never know who you're going to get on there. We had Jerry Jeremiah join us. I've had Y Keys do a whole show with me. So definitely tune in. Yeah, we've had Ranch Hand on there. So definitely check it out. You never know who's going to be there or what you're going to see. So, all right, Donnie. You know, we've talked about the last show, but we've also mentioned that we have a heck of a show coming up this Saturday. Clash at the Carnival. Now, this is going to be a free show, you know, and it's taking place at the Carnival in Berkeley Springs. Do not show up at Inwood thinking you're going to see a show, because if you do, you're going to miss it. It's the South Morgan Volunteer Fire Department's Carnival grounds. That's where we're going to be at Saturday night. Make sure you're there, because you don't want to miss this lineup. And, you know, I've got somebody backstage here who's going to join us to make some picks for this show. So let's go ahead and get him in here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Andrew.
What's up, guys? What's up, John? Donnie?
How you doing?
Doing good. Outer Banks Beach is treating me good.
So thank you for joining us tonight. And, you know, we're going to go through this card. You know how it works. We'll make our picks, and we'll just see what we think about these matchups. So the first matchup we're going to talk about here is a match that was announced where we're going to see CEO in action, and he is going to be going against Dapper Dean Mosley. Now, a lot of people know Dean Mosley. They think of him as a greaser. You know, he was in the tag team Thunder Road. The tag team Thunder Road has gone their separate ways, and Dean Mosley is now Dapper Dean Mosley. He's kind of changed his persona. So this is
That
not
is
the
on
same Dean
all
Mosley.
of y'all. All of you all who were yelling at Dean Mosley this whole time, wash your hair. He finally did it. And you see it changed his whole persona. He's a totally different guy now. He's now Dapper Dean. That's you guys. Andy Omega, that's directly on you. Eddie, Matt, all y'all. Y'all did
I
this.
can't help. I can't help it. He has to wash his hair. Yeah, wash your hair.
Well, like I say, evidently he has washed it now, because this is not the same Dean Mosley that we've seen before. But the question is, how different is Dean Mosley? And going against CEO, it's going to be a heck of a match. I know that much. So, Andrew, why don't you start us out here? What's your thoughts on this matchup?
I mean, mostly the dude's got skills. He's talented, very athletic, but I don't see him beating a guy like CEO, a veteran, anytime soon. So I got to go with my man CEO on this one.
All right. Donnie?
Gotta agree with Andy on this one. Top dog. I think CEO's got the size, he's got the experience, he's got the strength. Dean's got a new persona, a new attitude, and who knows if there's anything else new with that. We just know it's a different Dean Mosley. And it's still the same CEO, so going with CEO.
Well, and on this one, I'm actually going to go Dean. I think, with him coming back with this new persona, and he's gotten away from Troy Thunder, I think that's a good thing for Dean, and I think it's a step in the right direction. And he's going to want to show that. He's going to want to show that he's a different man. He's going to want to show that, he isn't one to be messed with, and that people have underestimated him. So I think I'm going to go with Dean Mosley on this one, because I just really see Dean pulling this one out. So
I think Ranch Hand was here too long, and some of that concussion, that CTE, rubbed off on John, Andy. So we're obviously going to be the only ones whose picks make sense for this.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. But the next matchup we're going to talk about here is a matchup that we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier. How this one came about.
Oh, wow.
It's a 6-man tag match where we're going to see Ryo, the head trainer at WDWA, with Zakar Shaw and Buckshot Billy. And, they're going to begin going against Levi Mortalis and Double Tap. We saw Levi come out and absolutely destroy Buckshot Billy after that matchup. We've seen Levi Mortalis absolutely destroy Dance Lucha. So he helped Double Tap attack Billy on the Saturday night. And so, that's kind of what set this up. And so Buckshot Billy, he is he's definitely something else. I always enjoy seeing him. But Levi Mortalis, he's just he could be a scary dude. I mean, could you imagine somebody like Levi Mortalis and AK Bane getting together?
Jeez,
Wow.
Jeez, that would.
They would be unstoppable. Those two monsters together. But So Donnie, you start us out on this one with
Oof.
your thoughts.
All right, so let's just break down the numbers, shall we? Let's look at the rookies and what they've done so far. Buckshot Billy is 1-1. So Billy's obviously he's 1-1 and he's lost one. He lost to Mason Drake, another veteran. Double Tap, they're 0-2, and Mortalis is 1-0. I mean, you can't give him a victory for what he did to Billy, but what he did to Billy was definitely a victory. And then you look at what we got on the other side. You got the trainer, you got Ryo, you got Buckshot Billy, and you've got Zakar Shaw. And not just Zakar Shaw, you've got a pissed off Zakar Shaw. We don't know if Clay is going to be there. It's a carnival. Who knows? Who knows? He could pop out of the fun house or something. That would be terrifying. Just saying that. Speak that into existence. I'm gonna give it to Buckshot Billy. I think he's went out there and he's put together one hell of a team. And yeah, the Mortalis part worries me. It scares me quite a bit, mainly because he doesn't like me and he likes you for some reason, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but so do you. But yeah, Mortalis does not like me. Double Tap is 0-2. I'm going for the vets and Buckshot Billy.
All right. In this one,
Shut up, Susie. She didn't even say anything. That's a preemptive shut up, Susie.
I was going to say, did I miss something? But
she ain't said anything yet. I just know it's coming. So that was a preemptive.
Something's coming.
It's a preemptive shut up, Susie.
But yeah, for this one, it's a tough one to pick, but after what they did to Buckshot Billy, and last time Double Tap was in the ring with their trainer, of course they were also in the ring with Keo Vandu instead of Zakar Shaw. They came out with the victory, or the trainer came out with victory, and Double Tap lost. So Double Tap being 0-2, they are going to want to prove that they can win and that they belong where they are. And now that they've linked up with Levi Mortalis, wow, they are going to be very dangerous. So as much as I like Billy and Ryo and Zakar, I can see Double Tap and Mortalis coming out victorious on this one. I really can.
I'm telling you, Carlson's head's fine. It's John's we got to worry about.
So Andrew, it's up to you on this one.
I mean, I'm all about Zakar, Ryo, and them, and Buckshot Billy. But again, I can't even remember if it was you or Donnie who said it. Like, not knowing if Clay will be there to distract Zakar in that match, which if Clay does show up and distracts Zakar and Zakar decides to, leave, then that puts the veterans against the rookies in the 2-on-3 advantage, basically. But, I'm a sucker for the rookies, and I feel like even though Double Tap is 0-2, I mean, hey, third time's a charm, right? So I'm going with the rookies on this one. Double Tap and Morales.
Well, and you mentioned Clay. Clay doesn't even have to be there. Just look at the Rumble. Clay was not at the Rumble, but he distracted Zakar, even though he wasn't there. His music played, and he got distracted and took a loss. So Clay doesn't even have to be there to distract Zakar. So.
Well, I mean, I would say kind of a win, but I mean, Zakai kind of won against Kingsley via disqualification, but not, you know, didn't win the belt, but he, in my opinion, he still won in my head.
Yeah, true, but
But
it's
yeah.
yeah. So, all right, the next match we're going to talk about. This match was announced, and I think this is going to be a very interesting match. You know, we're going
Huh.
to see the Goons return, and they're going to be against Legion. And this matchup is another one that I just think it is going to be a great matchup. The Goons always put on a good fight. They may be two ladies, two women, but that doesn't mean anything. They fight the men just as hard
Oh yeah.
as any man does. So I truly believe that they can give Legion a run for their money. Now the question is something to keep in mind. Legion has just abducted Rebecca Blade. She's not on the card, but is she going to be there? Who knows? We don't know if she's going to be there. Uh, we don't know exactly what's happened to Rebecca Blade. I mean, we've seen seen Dex abduct several people, and we've seen what's happened to them. We've seen Sean Phoenix willingly give himself to Dex. So it's definitely going to be interesting. But I don't know. Something that keeps sticking in my mind is we are at a carnival. We have not seen the leader of the Carnival of Souls.
Oh.
We
Okay.
have sort of.
I'm catching what you're throwing.
And they come out with his mask, they come out with his bandana. What better place for a return for him? But then again, we don't know. Have they washed his mind? I mean, we saw them stomping him down and everything. They could have held him, and although he's told us he has no soul to take, so he's the leader of the Carnival of Souls. So there's a lot of questions there that we don't have the answers to, and it's definitely going to be interesting. Uh, Susie thinks the
Here's a
Goons are going to
question.
join Legion.
Here's a question: how many members do we know are in Legion, or how many souls and bodies does Dex have access to that we know of right now?
Well,
I'd probably say 4.
You already
I
mentioned
would say.
it. Axel Crow is one.
Yeah.
Well, we got Dex, we got Phoenix, we got Wraith. We've got Titan is still around somewhere doing something. Now we've got Rebecca Blade and Axel Crow.
well,
And a couple days ago, it was funny. They put up there, it was Rebecca Blade's birthday. And I'm like, wait, is that her old birthday? Because now she has no soul. It's technically a new birthday. So what are we celebrating here? Is she like 20 something, or is she like
One.
like a month old? Like 14 weeks or something? I don't even know. Like,
but in this matchup, I think I'm going to go with the Goons. I can see the Goons pulling this one out. Um, I really do think that they can do it. Even though there's that numbers game, I look for the Goons to pull this one out. So, Andrew, who are you going with on this?
I'm gonna go with the Goons, man. I even with the numbers advantage, I feel like the ladies can take down Legion.
All right, and Donnie.
I don't want to agree with y'all. That's the problem I'm facing right now. It's like, do I think the Goons can do it? Yes, I absolutely think the Goons can do it, but I don't want to agree with either one of y'all right now. Oh,
You just don't want to be taken.
I don't even know about that. Like maybe it'd be better, you know. Jeez, I don't know. But yeah, man. And the point that John brought up about Axel being at the carnival, and I was already thinking about Clay coming out of the fun house or something at the carnival, and that's scary enough as it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with the Goons. Fine, Goons. Y'all got me. Goons will. I don't feel comfortable about this one by any stretch of the imagination, but
we're going to bring you over to our side yet, Donnie.
we agreed one time. The record will show that. Let's keep going.
So the next matchup that we will talk about, it's been announced: Keo Van Du versus Aristote. Now, Keo Van Du, one half of This Is War, and he is a phenomenal athlete. He's always so much fun to watch. But then you have Aristote, who is also a phenomenal athlete. And, this one's going to be a tough one to call. It really is. At least I think so. Donnie probably thinks it's easy to call, but I think it'll be a tough one to call. But irregardless, it's going to be a good match. So, Andrew, start us out on this one.
But yeah, I mean, both men, great athleticism. I've seen both men in action, but my gut's telling me I got to go with Keo Van. So I got Keo.
All right, Donnie.
Man, all right. So Top Dog, I heard you say you're going with Keo here. Here's what I got to throw. Throw some salt on that, I guess. It's a carnival, man. Keo's already distracted by limited amounts of food that is around him. You saw at the last event for the Rumble, he came out eating cotton candy. There's numerous places he can get cotton candy. He can get the funnel cakes. I'm sure there's going to be corn dogs and all kinds of other stuff. The Italian sausages, deep fried Oreos, whatever. There's you're taking a kid into literally a candy store and then expecting him to go out and fight, the athletically gifted Aristote. Come on. No, I don't even think. I think it's going to be a no contest because I think Keo's going to be so overwhelmingly just overstimulated by all the stuff there is to eat around. He's not even going to make it to the ring. I'm going to go with Aristote.
All right. So we have one for Keo and one for Aristote. Well, I've already said I think this is going to be a good match, irregardless what happens. They're both phenomenal athletes, but honestly, I hate to do it, but I got to go with Donnie. I really do. I think Aristote's going to pull this one out. I mean, he's just a phenomenal athlete, and I can just see him winning this one. So
wow,
that's two Donnie and I have agreed on. Wow. All right, the next matchup.
Oh,
Javare Wolf facing Beastman. Beastman, we have not seen in WDWA. Well, since the takeover, since they tried to take over WDWA.
The takeover 2023.
Yeah, and so right after that, they went back and forth, and that's when Gavin Jackson won control of WDWA from Mike Raddick. So it's definitely. I was shocked to see Beastman on the card. I really was. Uh, not not because not because I don't think he belongs or
Yeah.
should be there, because I think he's phenomenal, but just the fact that I haven't seen him, and I know he's been traveling all over the world. He's been to Japan. He's been everywhere. Um, so for him to be coming back to WDWA, that's huge, and to see him going against Javari Wolf, wow, normally I would say Beastman's going to have his hands full, or normally I say whoever's against Beastman will have their hands full. Um, but this time I think both of them are going to have their hands full, because this is going to be a challenge for both men. So, Donnie, lead us off on this one.
Yeah, this is a tough one, like you said. I mean, Beastman has been, and you've seen him competing everywhere. He's been, if you watch NWA on Comment and stuff, he's been on NWA, he's been in JCW, he's been all over, different indie companies all over not even just the US or the Eastern US, just all over the world. And he's facing Javari Wolf. Now, Javari Wolf, John and I got to say, had been riding a wave, if you will, of victories behind the guy with the supply, Tyler Hastings. And I didn't think anything was going to stop our Tyler Hastings victory train until Javari Wolf rolled through. And John and I both took losses on that match because it had been so long since Tyler Hastings had been supplying us with these wins. Javari comes out and soundly beat Tyler Hastings in that match. So I got to go with Javari Wolf. He beat Tyler Hastings, ruined our little win streak we had going on, and I think he's going to come out there and carry on and take another victory. And this time it's going to be against the big man, the Beast Man.
Well, thank goodness we're not picking a Tyler Hastings match, because I'm starting to get a little uneasy when it comes to Tyler Hastings. I mean, he has collapsed. Yeah, he's collapsed the announce table in my lap. If you go on the Facebook page and look, before the show even started Saturday night, he was looking for Luke, and he came up and he grabbed me. I had nothing to do with anything. He just out of the blue interrupted a conversation Donnie and I were having, grabbed me going, "Where's Luke?"
I don't know.
Thank goodness we are not talking about a Tyler Hastings match, because I'm not sure I'd want to pick against him at this point, because who knows what he'd do. But
Luke's got to pick against him. Luke gets to pick somebody to go against Tyler Hastings. And if Luke's person doesn't win, whenever that's going to be, then Tyler gets 5 minutes, 5 long, miserable minutes in the ring with Mr. Luke McCarran, the McCarranator himself.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see. But as far as this match goes, Beastman versus Javari Wolf. Oh goodness. I know that we've been getting some reinforcement for the ring, and hopefully Gavin has a little more reinforcement with these two in there, because they might just tear the ring apart, or I don't know if the ring can hold these two. It's definitely one heck of a matchup, and I definitely think it could be the match of the night for sure. I think I'm gonna go with Beastman. As much as I hate to do it, I'm going with Beastman. He is just I don't see Javare coming out on top. Beastman is just a beast. I don't know what else to say. So, Andrew,
Oh man. I mean, we know what Beastman's capable of. Just brute force, power, and again, like, yeah, like you said, Gavin having to reinforce the ring, not knowing what would happen if it wasn't reinforced. Huh. The whole thing would have probably collapsed. But I, I mean, Javari's been on a streak, and I can't bet against the Wolfman, so I'm going with Javari.
all right. So, I am out on the island again. But, one thing for sure, irregardless who wins, the fans are going to come out winners on a lot of these matches, honestly. Um, because there are so many good matches on this show. So the next matchup we'll talk about is one that we showed earlier uh,
Oh wow!
being announced. Mr. Grimm will be at the carnival, and he is going against Cassius Carter of Money and Power.
Wow!
This matchup, I I almost feel that Gavin is trying to punish Cassius Carter, you
You
know,
think?
for his involvement since he's come back. And so he's putting him in there with Mr. Grimm. Poor Cassius. Um,
The
so many people have fallen at the hands of Mr. Grimm. You know, he carries so many body bags with him, and it's really going to be tough for Cassius. Now I know, like we were talking with Ranch Hand earlier, I know with Money and Power it is a numbers game, and will that numbers game come into effect? And can Mr. Grimm overcome those numbers game? That's going to be the real question. And I'm still going to have to go Mr. Grimm on that. I know that it was Mr. Grimm was holding that title, and now Austin has taken it since he took it from Mr. Grimm, but I think Mr. Grimm's going to want his revenge on Money and Power, and it's going to start with Cassius Carter.
Mhm.
Andrew?
Well, I was gonna say, like you said, Grimm wants his revenge after what Cassius Carter did, not just once helping Kingsley cash in his Holy Grail trophy, but at the next event after that, costing Grimm to be counted out just for Kingsley to retain the championship. So, I mean, if I was Grimm, I would for sure want to get my revenge, no matter who was in my way. So, I gotta go with Grimm.
All right. Donnie, it's up to you, buddy.
I know we've talked about the numbers advantage. We've talked about Money and Power. I've talked about how I believe JTR has still got things under control, and that his plan, his master plan, is still in place. Both for the helm, for Cassius, for Jerry. Well, not Jerry so much anymore. Jerry's on his own, but just everyone involved for Kingsley and for AK. But then, again, we're in a carnival, It's Mr. Grimm, the pissed off Mr. Grimm. You said he's got plenty of body bags, and he does. I do believe that. What else does he have? It's a carnival. He's got plenty of places to hide the bodies and those body bags after he stuffs them in them. So, like, no, like, if you're going to the carnival, go early, because once Grimm shows up, there's gonna be like bodies stuck everywhere. Like, I just got a bad feeling about it. I really do. And the whole JTR thing earlier, he was supposed to be here. He's not there. He told you he can't get reception, which I already know there's great reception there. I mean, top dog over here, he's got reception in West Virginia. You can't tell me you can't get some Wi-Fi out, in the Caribbean somewhere, but whatever. I'm going with Grimm.
I told you we're going to bring Donnie over to our side before it's done.
Right? He's finally seeing the light.
There's no light there. I don't think light can get through those body bags. Like, those are like,
fair point.
Hey, he's probably scared he's going to get stuffed in one of those body bags.
Maybe. I mean, y'all are already talking. Somebody wants me to get Susie, of course, wants me to get abducted by Legion, and I don't think she was the only one. Other people are talking about me getting abducted by Dex too. I don't even know if it would work.
So the next matchup we have to talk about, we've talked a lot about it already, honestly.
Ooh.
The heavyweight championship match, where we're going to see Ranch Hand Carlson, who was eliminated from the Rumble by Money and Power, going against Austin Kingsley for that heavyweight championship. We've already talked to Ranch Hand. Ranch Hand is fired up. He's ready to go. And this is going to be a fight for sure. And, Ranch Hand, he has nothing to lose. He really doesn't. But Austin has everything to lose. So, what do you think, Andy?
I mean, I want to choose Ranch Hand because, I know that he can beat that little pinky raisin weirdo, but again, not knowing if the other Money and Power members will be there. I mean, I still want to choose Ranch Hand, but it just because I just sometimes you just want to have that chance just to hit Kingsley right in the face. You know what I mean?
I had to put up with him on commentary, at the Rumble. So, I know what you mean. But so you're going Ranch Hand?
Yeah.
All right. So, Donnie, what do you think? Has your check cleared yet?
No, it certainly hasn't. Man, we've talked about it. It's definitely a tough one. And again, we've talked about all the issues, everything going on, all the numbers with Money and Power, the plans, JTR. And again, all the distractions involved with being at a carnival and the show just a week after the last show. And, you're right. Ranch Hand doesn't have anything to lose. Ranch Hand's fired up. He's got a score to settle with all of Money and Power at this point. And from what we've seen, Jamie's not going to be there, and for that matter, things I think are done with Jamie and Ranch Hand after the battles they've had. It's tough. It's really tough. And it's one of those where, I wanted to tell Andy, I think he's maybe betting with his heart instead of his head. I get it. You want to see Ranch Hand Carlson win. You want to see, Ranch Hand put that belt on and take it away from Kingsley, because everybody wants to see Kingsley get punched in the face or hurt somehow.
Yep.
I can't. I gotta go with Kingsley. I gotta.
All right. And, you both have made a lot of points, and we've talked about a lot of different things. But one thing to keep in mind that we mentioned earlier is when Austin Kingsley comes into this match, he's probably already going to be pissed off. He's already going to be embarrassed because he's going to be in the dunk tank from 4 to 5:30.
I'm really gonna miss out on that, man.
So
Hopefully, we
he
got a bunch of sunscreen we can put on our champ. We don't want him burning up, before the match.
Yeah, he'll be
well,
fine.
I sure hope Juan is there early enough that he gets some footage of Kingsley being dunked. You just have to have footage of that. But that is just going to embarrass him. That's going to make him mad and want to exact revenge on anybody he can. And
Gary said nobody in West Virginia can throw anyway, so Austin didn't have anything to worry about. Are you calling Gary a liar? You telling Gary?
I mean, I got a good hard right throw, Gary. So I mean,
but you're not going to be there,
sadly.
So honestly, this one, I believe Ranch Hand can overcome the numbers. If anybody can do it, Ranch Hand can. And I would love to see Ranch Hand do it. But between the embarrassment that Austin's going to go through, and he's going to want his revenge on Gavin for putting him in that dunk tank, I see him pulling this one out. As much as I want to see Ranch Hand get it, I see Austin actually winning it. I hate to go that way. I really do. Because like I say, I really do want to see Ranch Hand win that title. But Austin Kingsley is going to have something up his sleeve, and you got JTR to think about, provided his little dinghy doesn't break down trying to get back from the island. So I'm going Austin Kingsley on this one to retain. And then, of course, we'll see Austin Kingsley versus AK Bane at Berkeley Mania after that. Although I think Ranch Hand Carlson versus AK Bane would be a heck of a match as well. So I don't think we lose either way, but that is this Saturday night. Clash at the Carnival. It is a free event. Bell time is 6:30, not 6:15, 6:30. But still, don't wait until the last minute to show up because it is a free event. It is going to be at South Morgan Volunteer Fire Department Fireman's Carnival at 10166 Winchester Grade Road, Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. I can't stress that enough. Berkeley Springs.
Not Inwood.
Do not show up at Inwood. If you show up at Inwood, you're going to show up to an empty place. But 6:30 bell time. It's a free show, so it won't cost you anything, but you get a lot of top-notch entertainment. And what better can you do than be seeing this type of entertainment free of charge? even though Andrew's already said he's going to miss it. I don't know what else you could be doing that, would be better than this entertainment
I mean,
at that.
I'm catching suns at the beach. I wasn't expecting. I completely forgot that WDWA was doing a show at the carnival, and I was like, "Oh shoot, man! I completely forgot about that."
3
So,
shows this month.
Yeah. Well, on the
so
bright side, I'll
yep.
keep that in mind for next year.
So yeah, we hope to see everybody there. Andrew, thank you for joining us
Thanks for
again. It's
having me.
always a pleasure. We'll let you know how your picks turn out,
Alrighty.
and it it's going to be a good show. Even though you'll miss it, as I said earlier, be sure front line, check it out. You'll get all caught up. You'll see everything you missed, and you'll probably see some stuff that even we missed while we were there.
Yes. But hey, before I go, if any of you get a video of Kingsley getting dunked in the tank, send it to me, because for sure I'm gonna be laughing at that so many times.
It's going to be AI if it is. Nobody's going to put him in there. I trust my man Gary.
Well,
We'll see about that.
all right. Thank you for being here, and we will see you soon.
Later.
Well, that is another show in the books there, Donnie.
What a show.
Show number 27, we talked about so much, between the last show, this upcoming show, and, not to forget the fact that Tiffany Grady, 400 plus days as our women's champion.
Hail to the queen.
I don't know what it's going to take to dethrone her, but it's going to be a heck of a thing. But as always, you catch us right here every other Tuesday night. The Tuesday nights that you don't see Elevation, you can see Wrestle Talk Podcast. And, next week we do have a heck of a show lined up for you. And I can tell you who's going to be on it just as soon as I pull up the thing here. We are going to have the American Diesel Dump Truck on the show. I believe he is out of, the North Carolina area. So definitely look forward to talking with him. And so it ought to be a pretty good show. And, myself, I'll be there. Gabriel Arsene will be there. So you don't want to miss that, because we normally have the best guests and have some good hosts too. So I got a little thing here real quick before we get out. So always a great show. Be sure to check us out. And like I say, I definitely look forward to talking to the Great American Dump Truck. He he's a heck of a wrestler, but he's got his own podcast. You can catch him on his Facebook page, and he's he's a really good guy to talk with. So looking forward to that. Donnie, anything before we get out of here?
And just looking forward to seeing everybody at the show, the carnival out there. Looking forward to all the hot action we got going on. I mean, where else can you see a free show and a championship match and a carnival all on a Saturday in West Virginia? It's going to be an exciting time. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, definitely we hope to see you there. And one last time, that will be at 10166 Winchester Grade Road, Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. We have had venue changes before and people showed up to the wrong place. So I cannot stress enough, Berkeley Springs. But it's going to be a great show, and definitely looking forward to a lot of the matches on the card. Several of them could be main events in themselves. Beastman and Javari Wolf, the championship match, Mr. Grimm and Cassius Carter, they could all be main event matches, and any one of those matches on the card is worth the free 99 admission.
And Austin in the dunk tank. Besides that,
yeah, you get to try to dunk Austin beforehand. So be sure to save up your dollars, and I don't know what they're going to be charging, but make sure you come on out and try to dunk Austin. So, all right, that's going to do us for this episode, and we will see you right back here in 2 weeks. And just thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you Saturday night.